Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to episode 199 of Dads from the Crypt. My name is Jason, and today I'm joined by Jody.
Hello.
Hello. Mondo just got back from Germany, but he's going to pop on a little bit later. But joining us, we have two wonderful guests, brothers Mike and Craig from the podcast called The Head, The Tail, The Whole Damn Thing. Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. It's James, Mike and James.
James, oh, what did I
Sorry.
Craig put?
I don't know.
It could have been a recent interview with Craig Perry. That episode dropped a couple episodes ago. The Final Destination producer.
So tell us about your show, guys.
Craig, do you want to tell him?
Sure, Mike. No, we're both industry professionals. Mike has been a special effects makeup artist for over 30 years, and I've been an actor in TV, film, voiceover, commercials, pretty much a lot of theater, anything, you name it, for the last, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
But obviously we're both huge horror fans, always have been. I think I have been since my brother exposed me to The Omen at the age of 4 years old.
Yeah.
He's
Good
a great
stuff.
babysitter.
That's what
I'm a really good babysitter. Yeah. So I helped raise him on horror. And then, of course, I fell in love with Tom Savini and makeup effects and figured out that is an actual job you can do. And I ended up moving out to California. And I guess my first gig was probably 1992 or something like that. And I've been in it ever since. I worked 22 years at K&B, worked on a lot of stuff there with Greg Nicotero and those fellas. And did a ton of fun films with them. And now I run a studio called Autonomous Effects, and I've been there for 9 years now, since 2016.
That's awesome.
But we spent a lot of time on the phone cracking each other up and playing a lot of late night video games and, you know, doubling over in laughter. And eventually last year he was like, "Hey, you want to start a podcast together?"
Yeah. I mean, our phone calls were basically podcasts. We're like,
Right.
we should have other people listen to this because we are hilarious.
The best analogy I've heard is podcasting now is what like starting a garage band with your friends was in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Sure.
100%.
I can see that.
Yeah. But we've been going since I think our first episode drop Friday the 13th in September 2024. Was that it?
Yeah, I think so. Or it was right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard you guys 199 episodes. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome, man.
Thank you. Well, and because I'm anal retentive, I don't count like interviews and just one-off goofy episodes we do. So this is like official review episodes. So we're probably already past like 250 or something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And you drop every week too, right?
At least, yeah. So some weeks when we get guests, sometimes they come in a bunch. So
that's great. We have a bi-weekly podcast, The Head, The Tail, The Whole Damn Thing. We always review an old movie with a new movie. So like, for example, what we're editing right now is, what are you editing? You're editing Pet Sematary
and Bring Her Back.
And we did it with Bring Her Back.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think next week or in 2 weeks, 28 Days Later comes out with 28 Years Later. And, but yeah, you go take a look at our stuff and there's it's an older film with a newer film.
And we try and keep the newer ones spoiler free. So we'll do like a nice gentle review, and then we head to the lobby and we come back and then we spoil everything. So if you haven't seen the new movie, it's cool. You can listen and then
you can still listen to
you've seen it.
Like an hour and 40 minutes of the show before you get it ruined for you, because they do tend to run long. But we do 2 movies each time, so and it only comes out bi-weekly, so it's not like every 2 weeks.
When we started, we were doing Tales from the Crypt episodes, which can run from like 20 to 30 minutes. So
sure. Yeah. Such a great show. Right. So many years of fun with that show.
Yeah.
I do miss having new episodes to review.
Yeah, for sure. But I saw you guys dipped into like some other stuff like Creep Show and Black Mirror and things like that. That's pretty great.
Yeah, there's always stuff. And then we do like our little themes like we're doing with our Jaws series. And ironically, Mike, you one of your early movies I saw you did was From Dusk Till Dawn, which was almost the Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Bob Kurtzman, the K of K&B, came up with that idea, and he was told about this young hot shit writer, and he was like, "Well, let me read a couple of his scripts." And he read, what was it?
True Romance,
True
Natural
Romance,
Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers, and Reservoir Dogs. And he was like, "All right, this kid can write." So he paid him
He's got something, I
$100.
guess.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, to write From Dusk Till Dawn. And when I worked at K&B, that was my first official job there. I mean, I bounced around at a lot of other shops prior to that, but my first gig at K&B was From Dusk Till Dawn, and that's a pretty cool movie to sort of like.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of those movies that kids these days are like, "Oh, when I first saw that, it made me want to get into makeup effects," and I'm like, "That's cool." You know, for me, it's like fucking The Thing, right?
Yeah, I love. I mean, not to gush, but I love makeup effects and just like seeing
cool.
like how everything is made and all the behind the scenes stuff. Mondo, if he was here, would talk about like whenever he shows his daughter, or he used to show his daughter like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, he would show her the behind the scenes of people doing the effects.
Yeah, that's
so when
cool.
she watches the movie, she like would see how everything fits together. So now, like I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, so many times. I watched I think it's Full Tilt Boogie, the making of featurette.
Yep.
I watched that instead of the movie because I've seen the movie so many times, but it's fun to see how the sausage is made. If I had any artistic talent, I probably would have gone into that, but I just don't.
I think if you've got kids, though, that's a great way to introduce them to horror, to show them the behind the scenes things. Like I've got a 12-year-old daughter now, and when we went out to visit Mike in California a couple of years ago, he gave us a tour of Autonomous Effects. So she got to actually see ground zero where some of the stuff is made and see some of the effects and get her hands on it and play with some of the animatronic babies and the things like that they have in the shop.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a great way to sort of pierce that veil with kids and get them, introduced into something that we all love, which is horror movies, right?
Yeah. And one of the cool things, or one of the things I think is cool about our podcast, is because my brother James is an actor and I do makeup effects, we always give that sort of view of the film too. Lots of behind the scenes stuff, lots of like, here's how they did that scene, especially when it comes to like, puppets and makeups and exploding heads and whatnot. A lot of cool things you might learn listening to it.
I mean, you have access to all that stuff. You should do some YouTube videos of your studio.
That is the plan, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to spoil it.
Yeah, we're going to do this thing called The Head and the Tail of It, where we'll just I'll talk to famous people that have been in the industry forever and say, let's talk about a particular gag that you did.
I love that.
I'll interview a sculptor from The Thing and have him tell me stories about working in the shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Nice. Good.
All right. But tonight we're finishing up the Hot Jaw summer, at least proper. We're still going to do some more shark movies later on, next couple weeks. But we set off on a journey. And sometimes the journey starts on a really high note. And it's just downhill from there.
I have no idea.
Varying degrees. But tonight we're talking Jaws: The Revenge, which came out on July 17th, 1987.
Yeah.
Oof. Jody, tell me what this movie's about.
All right, so this was a first-time watch for me. It was, though, the one that I knew the plot for, because shark follows people to get revenge. That's going to be the kind of thing that sticks with you. All right, so
I have something to say about that later, but go on.
So we are back on Amity Island after 2 great white shark attacks previously, and then we're also on alternate timeline, I guess, from part 3, because none of part 3 happened. But we're back on Amity Island. Brody is dead. He had a heart attack.
It was fear. Fear killed him.
It was from fear, according to his wife, who is still there. Ellen is still living in Amity with her youngest son and the son's fiance. And Sean is that son. He works for the police, and he goes to clear some kind of blockage from a buoy out in the water. And while he's there, a great white shark Georgie's him and rips his arm off while he wears a yellow raincoat, and then takes the rest of him down into the water as well, including his boat.
Yeah.
So I thought at first that this was going to be like a sneaky thing, because like all the evidence disappeared, but now the next scene is Ellen identifying his body.
Mm-hmm.
They know immediately that there is another great white shark at Amity.
Well, at least they realized it right away this time. And
Yeah.
they didn't beat around the bush.
I'm just thinking at this point, why live in Amity if you're going to be in the ocean at all? It seems like a terrible place to swim.
Yeah. Yeah. The Brody
does.
should move to Colorado. No
Yes.
doubt.
Well,
What? Where
not
went to
only
college?
did they not move to Colorado, but the oldest Brody's son, Michael, actually moved to the Bahamas, once again living on an island, and he's working as a marine biologist. So he's in the water all the time. Ellen immediately tells him to quit his job as soon as she sees him. He's not really down for that. But they fly down to the Bahamas with Ellen to give her a little break away from this place where her entire family has been killed by sharks, or according to her, the fear of sharks. Their pilot is a man named Hoagie, played by Michael Caine, who instantly starts hitting on Ellen and wants to take her mind off of all the recent losses she's had.
Yeah, he does.
Michael introduces him to the rest of his team, and they spend Christmas and New Year's together, which I forgot. This is Jaws, the Christmas movie.
This is.
Yeah.
This is a
It's happening in the
Christmas film.
background for all of this.
Mhm.
So
When you
post-Christmas,
do the picture, can you put a little Santa hat on the shark's nose?
right on the tip of the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Which, real
Beautiful.
quick, I was watching a thing, and turns out that's not actually a great white that the picture is. It's a mako shark.
Oh, yeah. The
Oh, this
artist
one?
like
The-
the
like
paint
the
on the poster
poster
for the
image?
Mako
One-
better.
Yeah, the one that they thought looked more aggressive from the angle.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that poster, though.
It's a great
No,
one.
it's iconic, but it's,
Yes,
it's really
yeah.
funny. But the fact they keep using it too.
Okay, so this is when the movie takes a turn. A few days later, Michael and his crew encounter a shark that we are led to believe is the same shark from Amity, more
Mhm.
than 1,000 miles away, that has followed his family.
Dun,
the
dun,
Bahamas.
dun. Yeah.
Jake wants to research it because they've never seen a great white shark in the Bahamas because they don't belong there.
He's tired of playing the shell game.
Like
That's
it's
right.
too warm. They physically
It's too
can't.
warm. Yeah, no, it literally will kill the shark.
Yeah.
But this
Let's
one
not
is
let
determined.
science get in the way of this. Okay.
Right. Now, I will say I read that in the novelization there was a voodoo priest that put a curse on the Brody family, and that's why the
Yes.
shark followed
Oh,
them.
Yes.
It wasn't
Papa
intentional.
Jacques. Yes. Yes.
But without that, in this movie, we have no idea what the shark's motivation is. I guess he actually wanted revenge. There's no other way to just make sense of this.
Well,
Yeah.
this time it's personal, right?
right.
As the tagline says.
It could also be Ellen Brody's revenge
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
because she does get all dirty Harry at the end.
Well, speaking of Ellen, she also has a psychic link to this shark, which is something
Yeah.
that's never happened in the Jaws franchise before. But every
Not that
time
we know
somebody
of.
is being threatened by a shark, Ellen can sense it no matter where she is.
Yeah.
So they attach a device to the shark that keeps up with his heartbeat. I don't know why, because it never tells them where he is at any point during the movie, but they do it. It's a thing that happens. The next day, the shark ambushes Michael and chases him through a sunken ship, and he manages to escape. And then later, Michael's daughter, Thea, goes out on an inflatable banana boat with her friend Margaret and her mother. And while they're out there, the shark attacks in public view, and everyone sees it and eats the friend's mom just right there in
Mhm.
front of her.
Yeah.
Pops the banana boat. One thing about this shark prefers to hunt things only above the water. Every
Oh,
time it attacks, it surfaces,
Yeah.
sits up on top of the water, and attacks things that are out of the water, like boats or people
Yeah.
who are walking along the side of the water.
Yeah.
Never anything in the water.
This
It also-
shark has a really strong core.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, also this shark can teleport apparently, because the scene where it chases Michael through like a shipwreck, and Michael like goes up to a different level after being chased by a shark, and some of the sharks on the same level as he is.
Yeah.
We're
There's
doing
this-
slasher rules at this point.
The
Like,
shark
we-
also
we
has
are-
a hard time closing its mouth. I've
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah.
It never ever has its mouth closed.
Well, we'll talk about other things that the shark does with its mouth in just a moment, and that's not an innuendo.
Oh, hey.
Whoa,
All
take
right.
it easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew I was into sharks, but thanks.
All right. So after the banana boat attack, Ellen just jumps on a boat and goes out into the ocean to do something to the shark.
Yeah.
We don't really know what she's doing. I don't think she does either.
She's going all vigilante on it.
I couldn't decide if it was like I'm going to go fight this shark or I give up. I'm going to let the shark eat me so it'll leave my family alone. I thought it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Both
See,
are
never
pretty
explains
absurd,
it,
but
so you're left to come up with your own explanations.
The dramatic tension created by Jaws the Revenge. There you have it right way. I'm not sure. Which way is this going to go? I have to keep watching.
Yeah. See, we're talking about a masterclass in tension here.
That's right. Well, once Ellen goes out in the water, her son starts looking for her, and Hoagie happens to come along and said, let's take a plane. So they take a plane and spot her, but they also spot the shark from the water. He lands the plane on the water, which, by the way, not a seaplane, not designed for that.
Nope.
But he does it anyway.
I would have
Yeah,
given
immediately
anything
starts
if he would have like tried to use the plane to kill the shark with his blades.
Yeah.
Right. Pull it 28 weeks later.
Yes,
just-
that would have been badass.
Well, this wasn't badass because it literally just starts
No,
sinking
it's not.
just immediately. The shark starts attacking Hoagie. He jumps back into the plane and the shark pulls it underwater. We assume Hoagie is dead. No, he's fine. He's actually not even wet. He's dry.
Yes.
Seconds later.
Isn't that amazing?
It's incredible.
Comes out of the water completely dry.
Yeah.
This movie.
Uh,
Amazing.
Jake makes a little makeshift device that can shock the shark from inside when he eats it. And while feeding it to the shark, he also accidentally feeds himself to the shark,
Mm-hmm.
as you do. Is this the scene where the shark starts roaring?
Yep.
It's
Yes.
shortly after that. Yes.
Yeah.
That was
when you
taken
go to
from a
IMDb
Tom and Jerry cartoon, actually.
Yeah. When you go to IMDb under the quotes section, the first quote there is shark roar.
Yes, because during one of this shark's many times where he just sits above the surface of the water, he then begins roaring like a dinosaur as everyone continues to shock him from the inside. Ellen,
Well, if you got shocked from the inside, you'd
That's
probably
true.
roar like a dinosaur as well.
yeah, I mean it's fair.
It's just
How do we
science.
know if you do that to a shark that it won't roar? Has
Exactly.
anyone tried?
Can someone prove that to us?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think so.
Therefore, Jaws the Revenge is correct. Continue.
Absolutely.
Well, Ellen-
100% scientifically accurate.
That's right.
Not disproven.
I mean, someone may have a psychic link with a shark. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ellen has some sepia tone flashbacks to other movies and decides to ram the shark with the what is it? The stern, the
Prow? Is that the
Yeah,
prow of the ship?
Yeah, the prow.
the part that sticks out in the front.
Mhm.
It's
The pointy part,
The pointy
funny
end.
part.
Stick 'em
pointy
at the
bow,
pointy
bow.
end.
the pointy bit.
And in my favorite moment of this entire movie, she stabs the shark with the pointy part of the boat, and the shark immediately explodes.
Yeah.
Again, with zero explanation. I have no idea why the shark explodes. Maybe it's been
because-
above water so long that it is inflated. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's got an air tank that swallowed in the previous movie.
It hasn't closed its mouth this entire time, so there's been a tremendous gas buildup within the shark.
Yeah.
So that
Sure.
when she pierces it, kaboom.
I'll buy
Yeah.
all of these explanations.
Also, do we not think that Papa Jacques could have actually put a time bomb inside of the shark or some
Could
kind
be.
of explosive device? Using the powers of voodoo, of course.
Using
Well,
vision.
sure.
Yeah.
Can you do it any other way?
No, not if you're Papa Jacques.
Well, that tracks.
I mean, they did manage to make a little machine that will shock him enough to mildly annoy him. So
Which looked
maybe
like
they
a
could have just,
flashlight.
bump that up a little bit.
Yeah. It looked like the flashlight. You're trying to tap it to keep it going.
Right.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
dark. Ah, come on.
That's like
Yeah.
that's total 80s logic. You know, if your
It
Nintendo
is.
Switch, if your Nintendo isn't working, you just blow in the cartridge.
Yeah.
You know, your TV isn't working, you just slap it.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as they lose the signal for the shark, the first thing that Mike does is he runs up and starts slapping the machine. So
Sure.
that's how you fix stuff.
That's how it's done. Now,
you
I'm
put
sure
foil on the antenna.
I'm sure they handed Lance Guest, I think is the name of that
Mhm.
actor that plays Michael.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they just handed him that flashlight, that prop, and they're like, okay, you have to push the button to activate the thing in the shark. And he's just standing there, take after take, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Trying to
thing?
get some
Like, just
more out of it. Yeah,
smacking
sure.
it from different ends. And there's only so many ways you can push a button and make it dramatically satisfying.
Yeah.
Well, once the shark explodes, Jake, who previously had been dead, isn't dead. No,
Hooray!
people keep surviving in amazing ways in this movie. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the movie. They just kind of
Well,
they
the-
go
on
back home. And
well, the
Ellen
last scene, yeah. Go ahead.
gets on a plane to head back to Amity Island with
Mhm.
Hoagie flying.
With Hoagie, because they're gonna go get their shark
She's
on.
gonna
They need to put a little distance
she's gonna
between
get a
them and
little
their
piece of
kids.
hoagie for sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
All right.
that's Jaws the Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jody. All right, Mike, why don't you start us off? What do you think of this movie?
This is a classic masterpiece of interesting things. First of all, Michael Caine's named after a sandwich. Let's bring that in. That's pretty good.
Mm.
He's a hoagie. Ellen, the psychic link with the shark, pretty outstanding. Oh, you're raising your hand, James. Did you want to say something?
No. I was just
Okay.
waving to my wife.
Nice.
Let's all wave.
Yeah. How's it going? You know what's interesting about this movie?
Oh, please tell me.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, it's not very good. The novelization has the whole voodoo thing, right? Which they
Wow.
don't touch on in the movie because they thought it was hokey. But it's in the novelization. Yeah, I know. But there is one line where Michael Caine says, "You don't really believe in all that voodoo, do you?"
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, where would that line come from? Well, it comes from the original idea of that idea.
It's just amazing to me that they actually hired someone to make a novelization of this movie. Like, what a
Novelizations of movies
job.
are great. Yeah.
I
Novelizations
love
are
those
fantastic.
guys. Well, because they always get like the early script that always has all these crazy things that when they finally came to make the movie, they're like, no, we can't do that. But I wonder in the alternate universe that they actually did do that and they just went full camp in this movie.
Sure.
And did that, whether it would actually have been better.
Well,
And this has been more interesting, is my guess.
I wonder,
More
does the
entertaining.
novelization have the original ending of this movie?
Yeah, because that's one thing that kind of pisses
Mhm.
me off is the original ending. The original ending's way better than the explosion of the shark. which
There is no
which is
shark
like-
explosion in the
makes
original.
no sense. No, the original ending, she rams it with the boat. It gets pierced on the big spike, which is broken off after Jake has been eaten. And Jake is dead in the original ending, by the
Mhm.
way. He doesn't come back. So you got this broken, speared part of the boat in the front. She stabs through the shark. It goes through the shark. There's all this blood. The shark is roaring, and all this blood is coming out. And the shark kind of rips itself to the side and breaks the front of the boat off, which is cool.
Mhm.
And then starts floating underneath the water, and everyone gets thrown off into the water, and all that shit they shot at Universal, and you can see the backdrop like so horribly
Oh,
well
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's
even
like, ooh, shit.
even in this final cut, again, things that like don't look great in HD, you can totally
Yeah.
tell that you can see the water hitting the backdrop that they're filming
Yeah,
on. If you go,
totally.
if
Because
you
it was
go
a
to
very big tank.
if you go to Universal Studios in LA, you can see the lagoon where they filmed that. It's part of the
Absolutely.
tram tour.
Absolutely.
It's right
But
behind
another-
the Norman Bates house.
Another weird thing about the ending of this movie is they released that ending
Mhm.
here in the States theatrically.
Yeah.
And then, like 5 days later, because people were annoyed that Jake dies and the shark, died, it was like too much. They went, okay, let's reshoot the ending. So they reshot the ending after they had already released it.
Yeah.
And that's part of why Michael Caine missed picking up an Oscar for Hannah and her sisters.
So they they got a chance to redo the ending that people didn't like, and what they came up with was let's make the shark explode.
Yeah.
All they
It's
had
incredible.
left over was the miniatures, which they didn't really use, that Ted Ray had built. He's the guy that did some of the miniature stuff for 3 for the 3D version.
Mhm.
And he had a whole motion what do they call it?
Motion control.
Motion control, but stop motion. He had a whole stop motion show.
Oh yeah.
That they had shot some footage of. They didn't really like it, but they still had that shit. So they ended up blowing up the shark with the front of the boat in a pretty tight close up because it's a model, and they got it in that lagoon tank over at Universal. And yeah, that was what they came up with. I mean, and then they edit the other footage in, and then they shot that scene where, oh, Jake's alive. Hey, great. Hey, Jake, how are you? Oh, I'm fine.
I love the idea that there was like a producers meeting after the opening of this movie, and somebody was like, I know what'll fix it.
Yeah.
Well,
exploding shark.
I got an idea. What if the shark blows up like the other movies?
I think Universal is so precious about this property that they because it makes them so much money even now that they probably wanted to try to make people happy, but I don't know why they just can't figure out any way to do it in any way it's good.
They also fast-tracked this movie in 9 months. Now, I've worked on a lot of things, and it's always about a year after you finish shooting is when something comes out. You have all that post-production, you have all the editing, you've got reshoots, all that. They did reshoots in June and released this in fucking July. And they shot the whole thing within 9 months. I mean, they fast-tracked it. And, Steve DeJarnette actually wrote the first script. He's the guy that wrote and directed Miracle Mile. Do you remember that movie?
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
No. If you've never seen that movie, you should watch it, but do not watch any trailers for it because you don't want it ruined. It's one of those things that'll keep you guessing. And I think that's a great movie. And Steve is a great guy, and he wrote this original script, and it started in Malibu, and there's these surf punks, and they get in, and there's a sequence where someone dies. You think it's in a Victorian era, but it ends up being the section of beach outside the Renaissance Fair. It was like one of those kind of things. Yeah.
I mean,
but anyway,
time travel, sure. Just throw it in.
Yeah. Why not? That and throw the Papa Jacques voodoo note in there, and you're good to go. Now you got a Jaws movie I will pay to see.
All right. I'm going to throw over to you, James.
Well,
Craig, whatever your name is.
I think what strikes me is that I think this movie did more for conch science than any other film in history. There's more undersea footage of getting conch shells, talking conch reproduction. I don't think, not since Lord of the Flies has conchs played so prominently in a work of art as this one.
You're speaking to the conch Reddit people right now. And they're like, oh my God, somebody noticed.
Finally, the Citizen Kane of conch films. No, this movie is, obviously it's ridiculous on so many levels. And I knew it going in. I'd seen it before. But I went into it this time thinking okay, when does this movie get truly terrible? Right? It's bad from the beginning. We all know this. And the first shot of Sean Brody, dislodging the driftwood from the buoy where the shark comes out of the water, and there's all those quick cuts of teeth and torn raincoat. I love that you said he pulled the Georgie on him.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah. Also, there's blood in the water when the shark comes up before it bites him.
It's terrible, right? But to me, this movie doesn't get truly terrible until about half an hour in, and that's when Lorraine Gary, Mrs. Brody, is in the water and has her first psychic, the shark is coming for us down in the Bahamas. And just that whole idea of, the shark tracking them down there, I feel like this movie gives credence to every crackpot theory we've ever heard from our older parents or uncles or whatever, who say the most asinine crazy thing, and you're like, it's not possible. Well, Jaws 4 The Revenge is here to tell you, yes, it's possible, and it's bound to happen. So I have my issues with that, but But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this movie I think can get made fun of, but for me, it doesn't truly take that terrible turn until she's in there and steps in the water and the psychic link is established.
Yeah.
What a bunch of nonsense.
Do you think this is a good party movie? Like Jaws 3 is a good party movie because
Yeah.
it's so goofy, but this one isn't quite a party movie, even though the effects
it's
are
cool.
better.
No.
It's a little too over melodramatic.
Yeah.
Well, and it's pretty boring for a good
Yes.
chunk of it before
yeah.
like the last
Agree.
25 minutes are at least entertaining, but there's a whole lot before that that's nothing's happening.
It needed more kills. It
I
needed
was,
bloodier.
I was really gonna say only 2 kills in the Jaws movie seems like. Now the
No,
first
there's
one
more.
is really shocking.
There's
You
more
know-
than 2. There's more than 2. Well, I guess
Mm.
Jake doesn't die in the
Mhm.
end. He comes floating back, so that one doesn't count.
Well, I don't think I mentioned it in my synopsis, but at one point when Mike is diving, the shark ignores Jake just to go after Mike. So it's a personal vendetta against the Brodies. And yet later he eats Jake anyway, just
Yeah.
because.
Well,
Well, Jake kind of falls in his mouth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
he just gets Jake out of the way.
The shark didn't want to seem racist, so he's just like, okay, I'll use.
Well, I think at one point in the movie, Melvin Van Peebles, Mario Van Peebles,
Mario,
Melvin
yeah.
Van Peebles is in this movie too, actually.
Yeah.
But Mario Van Peebles says something about how the shark only likes white meat. And then lo and behold, at the end of the movie, you're like, well, you weren't lying.
Yeah. Which leads me to think the shark does always eat white people, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. It was a good run, everybody.
Canceled. Jaws was canceled. I think he eats the technician in 3. I think that's the only person I can think of color that in the whole series.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a very, let's just be honest, Amity Island's a very white island, and so we spend a lot of time up there.
Yeah, but he goes down
Not
to the
far from
Bahamas.
Amityville.
We go to the Bahamas
Yeah.
still.
That's another part of this movie that I was laughing about today is that Michael Brody's wife in this is an artist, and she's created this art, this sculptural piece, this metal sculptural piece, and
Yeah.
it's unveiled on the island. And they're like, we've hired this artist to come and show us what living in Jamaica and being Jamaican is all about. And it's like Karen from Nantucket.
Yeah.
Or the Bahamas, not Jamaica. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just getting
All right.
thrown off by that terrible Jamaican accent he was doing.
Yes. Oh, Mario Van Peebles. Where was that accent coming from?
No.
Goodness.
All right, Jody.
Yeah, so first time watch. So I
Mhm.
got to experience this for the first time.
Ooh.
I just want to say last night, I want to mention later when I'm talking about releases, Dangerous Animals released while I was sitting here watching this, and I thought, why am I not watching that movie instead? But
Sure.
here's what we have. So like I said, its biggest weakness is not all its bad effects or goofy ideas. Those are at least entertaining sometimes. The biggest weakness is just that it's boring for a significant portion of the movie. I can accept a whole lot of things in a movie, but watching Ellen and Hoagie on all of their dates while nothing happens,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot to grab onto for a while. Once the shark action starts kicking up in the last act, it's fun in a make fun of it kind of way. I kind of love that the shark always jumps up out of the water and just floats on the surface as he attacks things on land. That's pretty funny. Is it good? No, not at all. But it's at least entertaining. Once we get to that point, you just got to get through a lot of nothing to get there, and occasional psychic visions. I do love that they had an angle for why the shark follows with the voodoo thing. And when they took the voodoo out, they just didn't replace it with anything.
Right.
They just
Yeah.
gave up on coming up with any explanations for the psychic stuff, the shark fall. Nah, just accept it. Move on.
Yeah,
I mean, they were just looking for a Jaws blockbuster, and it was like, come on, we got to get this done in 9 months, and let's go.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It feels like kind of a slap together production that, good enough is good enough. Let's not worry too much about it. And this is what we got. So
yeah, we have a saying in makeup effects that a lot of people have said over the years, and it's done is best.
Yeah.
Just get it done. It doesn't matter. Come on, Rembrandt, just get it fucking done. It shoots tomorrow.
No,
Well,
Jody,
this
this is obviously
for the whole movie. So
this movie does have like a reputation. Did it live up to that reputation based on what you know?
I mean, I know it's one of those that people talk of as like a so bad it's good kind of movie sometimes. I think a lot of it's just bad. Again, that last part is where some of the fun comes in, but it's the fourth sequel, and I feel like they were really running out of steam by the time we got there.
Yeah.
It's
Sadly.
crazy too, because I think Lorraine Gary she's the wife of the CEO of Universal at the time.
So she was married to Sid Sheinberg. Yeah.
Perhaps you could have thrown her a better script than this one. The boss's wife. You might want to take care of that. Oh boy.
Well, I really love how they recast the Brody boys in every single movie.
Yeah.
But somehow they got the actress who played Mrs. Kittner to be like in one shot when like they're kind of like grieving at the house, and Mrs. Taft, one other woman from the original, like okay, we got Miss Kittner, we're good.
I remember all those people were actual islanders that lived in
I guess they have much else going on.
Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, I think in the first movie there's only like 7 or 8 actual actors, and everyone else were locals, like especially Ben Gardner. Like, man, that guy's fucking awesome. And the deputy wasn't an actor either. He was a local that just happened to be an actor. Yeah.
And what's so baffling about this, there's so many baffling decisions. It's like one baffling decision after another. There's so many weird callbacks. So like there's a scene where they show in sepia tone the famous scene with Martin Brody and Sean where they're doing like the mimicking each other when he's a little kid. They show that earlier to kind of make us feel things, and then later on in the movie they redo the scene, but with the older brother who wasn't in that original scene. He wasn't there for that. That doesn't make any sense. Mrs. Brody, Ellen, is having flashbacks at the very end of scenes from the first movie that she wasn't there for.
Yep.
So she doesn't know like what pose her husband was in to like have that memory, or like she's having flashbacks of her son Sean being killed in the beginning. She wasn't there for that.
I mean, it's established in this movie that she is psychic to some degree, so maybe that explains
good point.
Jody's got a great point.
Very good point.
It's funny because me and Jody were just on the More Deadly podcast to talk about Critters 3 with our friend Rachel, the same person who was on with us to do Jaws 3. So we switched episodes to do third episodes.
That's good.
And again, whatever you want to say about Jaws 3, it's entertaining. There's always big things happening, crazy stuff. Like again, there's all the SeaWorld whatever happening, which keeps the movie very entertaining. This movie just has like Ellen Brody just like ugly crying at random points, like grunt crying.
and she even laughs at the funeral at one point. She's like starting to laugh, and everyone's kind of looking at her. And then she's crying later when there's supposed to be happy moments. Yeah. I don't know, man.
And then like there's like 2 dream sequences of people getting killed by the shark. Like Ellen has one, and then Michael has one. And then the thing is so weird. So Michael has this big like encounter with the shark. And then it just cuts to him being asleep. And we're like, oh, was that a dream too? But then you see his arms all cut up. But then it cuts again to him back on the water. Like like the content, like there's usually the language of the film. I don't know what's happening here. Like someone just forgot how to edit these scenes.
That time when Michael goes back in the water there too, I thought, Michael Brody, how many times do you have to be traumatized by a great white shark? Like, you don't come here for the hunting, do you, Michael? You will never learn this lesson, I guess.
Now, if I want to say something good about this movie, I love the the opening bit of like the POV while it's doing the credits. I love the music bit they do. It feels very like Friday the 13th.
It does. It totally. And Orca. It reminds me of Orca. Too.
Yeah. It has a lot of energy that I wish the rest of the movie had.
Yeah.
And again, the fact there's only 2 kills in this is like almost criminal. But that kill with Sean, first of all, to kill off one of the Brody boys in the opening is pretty shocking. Like my wife was like flipped out for a minute. She's like, they can't do that. So, okay, narratively, that's an interesting way to set up the movie. Sure, fine.
Absolutely.
And having him like laying there crying for help while there's like people caroling nearby, it's a pretty disturbing scene. I'll give it that. And what's weird is in my head, I think I thought I got that scene and the scene of Georgie mixed up. So I thought that in the 90s version of It, you actually see him walking around with his like arm cut off. But no, it was really this movie, and somehow as a kid when I watched both of these, you got conflated. So when I came back to watch It years later, I'm like, wait, that's it? We don't see more?
It obviously looked a little rushed when they tried to hide the fact that he still had an arm.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like he lost his arm and gained 15 pounds at the same time. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, this movie is just kind of baffling. It's the kind of thing I'll watch like once every 5 to 10 years and just kind of remind myself how bad it is. If I'm like just going through the whole series, it's obligatory.
It's not worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, well, it's not bad like The Room or like Birdemic. Like those movies aren't like intentionally bad.
Sure.
It's like there's money here and there's people with talents. I mean, the director made Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And this was a $25 million budget.
Yeah.
So,
that's what makes it baffling.
Yeah. They made 7 fucking mechanical sharks. Right. Some of them just came out of the water. That was their job.
I will
go
say,
up and go down.
As far as the effects goes, like the shark looks more like foamy than ever, but it does have some have some dynamic for those underwater shots.
Yeah.
There are certain things that work. The swimming fin works pretty well. I don't like the rise up and the rise down and the stay up for too long.
I gotta be honest, they made 7 sharks and they didn't make one with its mouth closed. That is a criminal offense.
I mean, there might have. Are you sure there's not one? Like
no, man.
Because there was a ramming shark that they would just ram with shit. But yeah, I guess it does.
I don't think so. I think it's always got its mouth open in this.
I like the fact that they tell you if you're trying to escape a shark, punch it in the nose, yet Jaws is continually ramming things with its
right. All right. Now, just to do a rundown of the cast, we've already talked about Lorraine Gary.
Real quick before you move on from Lorraine Gary, I do have to say one other thing this movie did her dirty was that haircut that they put her in. The 80s, like chopped off mom hair. It's real bad.
It is, it is terrible.
It looked like she was going clubbing.
Yeah.
All right. The director, Joseph Sargent, he did a lot of TV movies and things. Again, Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 is probably his most standout as far as what I'm aware of. Lance Guest, who plays Michael Brody, he was in Halloween 2 and The Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter is what I remember him from.
That's the movie I need to rewatch. I haven't watched that since I was a kid.
I think they're remaking it, actually.
I heard that. I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
I'll be down.
Yeah, sure. Me too.
Mario Van Peebles, long acting career. He played Malcolm X and Ali, New Jack City, on and on and on and on.
I think he did
Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Or was he Highlander 3?
No, I think isn't that The Quickening? Isn't that Highlander 2?
Highlander 2 is The Quickening, but he might have been in 3. I don't know.
He was definitely in one of them. What's interesting though, again, because I'm an IDB nerd, he's actually had a really interesting directing career. He recently directed a miniseries about Wu-Tang, an American saga.
That series is great.
It is great.
I want to watch it. It looks very interesting.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful.
What I find the most interesting is he actually directed a made-for-TV movie called USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage.
No shit.
That's the one with Stacy Keach in it?
I didn't look at the cast, but it's literally the story that Quint tells in the first movie. Yeah, that's just some weird synchronicity.
It's a great story.
Yeah, I remember that TV movie when it came out.
Yeah, there's been a couple. I know I saw one of them, but
I
Michael
like that
Caine.
John Milius wrote that speech too, or at least most of it before.
He wrote it, and then like what's his name? Robert
Robert
Shaw.
Shaw.
Like,
Robert Shaw
rewrote parts
edited
of it,
it.
like truncated it. So
Yeah.
it's like a shared.
Too
effort.
hard to read when you're drunk, I guess.
Michael Caine, obviously from pretty much every Christopher Nolan movie. He was
Yeah.
also in Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes. If you have kids, those are really weird, bizarre movies to watch with them, but they're quite entertaining.
Yeah, they're not bad.
And
I've seen way worse.
Muppet Christmas Carol, right? Michael Caine
Yeah.
is Ebenezer Scrooge in Muppet Christmas Carol.
Michael Caine.
And I think
I was
probably
in
one
Ebenezer.
of my favorite of his performances is Austin Powers in Goldmember,
Yes,
which Michael, you worked on.
I did. Yeah. I worked on Third Austin Powers.
Did you meet Mr. Caine?
I did not.
Were you
I
in the
didn't go to the
shop?
set. No, I was mostly in the shop. I only went to the set to cast. What's his name? The lead.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Yeah. It went down to do the body cast for the Fat Bastard suit.
Ah,
Nice.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
do all that. And I was wearing a Detroit Red Wings jersey, and he was like,
Ugh.
it was opening day of hockey season, and he was a huge Toronto Maple Leafs fan. So he was like, "Oh my God, you love hockey? I love hockey." And we just started chatting about hockey. And then when
That's
we
cool.
left, my boss was like, "I should bring you to set with me." And then he didn't. And then he did not have a great time with Mike on set. I was like, "Well, you should have talked about hockey."
Yeah. And then this is really sad actually. Judith Barcy, who played the granddaughter Thea, she died a year after this movie. Her family was
Really?
murdered in
Really?
their house, and it was
What?
set on fire. Yeah.
Whoa.
By a
Whoa,
shark,
man.
I hear.
And Lance Guest was a pallbearer at her funeral.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah. Moving on from that, then
Yeah, way
Mitchell
to bring us
Anderson
down.
plays Sean Brody. And then he did a lot. He was in Space Camp, which is another funny 80s movie.
Oh,
And then he
yeah.
wanted to do a lot of TV, such as Party of Five and 50 episodes of Doogie Howser.
Wow.
Oh. He must have been like one of the older doctors or something in the
Well
in the
done,
hospital.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when Doogie Howser's there, everyone's an old doctor. So,
Good point.
I forgot to put down the actress name, but the one of the most baffling things about this movie is that Sean had a fiance, and then she never appears after that one scene again. She's like on the phone once, and they just completely drop her. I'm not worried about her.
Yeah.
No,
she'll be fine.
she'll be
Ellen, don't
fine.
worry about it.
She's
Yeah.
a rock.
Yeah. Those Amity guys, there's plenty of them. They're dime a dozen.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's this movie. It exists. I don't know how else to really.
It does.
I want to know why Melvin Van Peebles is in this movie. Like
Right.
Mario Van Peebles, like fit the bill and everything, but like I
Mhm.
wonder if he was just like somehow throwing a bone to his old man or something, because he plays
Maybe.
he plays the guy who sort of introduces
He's
Michael
like the
Brody's
mayor of the
wife.
town.
Yeah, he's like the
Yeah.
mayor of the town.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then-
Well, and again, Michael Brody isn't there for his wife's statue unveiling.
Yeah.
He's got shell stuff to do.
He's got conch. he's
I'm
got a
telling
damn
you,
conch.
conch science. This movie goes in depth with its conch science. You
Mhm.
can't. You
You
can't.
see, the
distract a
problem with
man.
artists is they don't understand the importance of conch science.
Yeah, few people do really.
Yeah.
All right. Now's the point where you can give any final thoughts, and we do our episode rating. We do 0 to 5, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. You can do half points.
Mhm.
Michael, what would you give this movie?
I think I'm going to give this 2 stars for trying. This isn't as bad as some people would say that it is, because it is entertaining, like you say, towards the end. The shark roaring is hilarious. The fact that it breaches and stays up for too long is also funny. It does have the 2 kills that are in it are good. I really like the Jake kill, and I'm just going to consider that he's dead. since that was the original ending. That one's actually not terribly done. And being someone who's done a lot of makeup effects over the years and worked with a lot of puppets and done water work, I know how hard all that shit is.
Yeah.
And to pull off something like that, that's a lot of work to make that work out. And puppets can be scary, especially something that's hydraulically worked or pneumatically worked, because you can't really tell how the bite pressure that you're using. And I wouldn't want to be an actor in a puppet's mouth that someone can't really tell how hard they're grabbing you. You know, that would freak me out a little bit. So yeah, one. Did I say 1.5?
You said 2.
I said 2. Yeah,
that's a little generous. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. So 2. It's not terrible. Michael Caine. I like Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
I've never seen the picture. By all accounts, it's terrible. However, I have seen the house that it built, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Built a house
All
for
right.
his mom.
Yeah, for his mom.
Yeah.
I love me, mom.
All right, Mr. James Craig, go for it.
You know, I think what Jody was saying is that this movie is boring for too long. And that's really the sin, because, I mean, we've had a lot of laughs talking about it today, but it's not so bad that it's hysterical to talk about. It's not so bad it's good. Oftentimes it's just bad. And I go back to that original ending. It's like switching the ending to having a shark explode at the end. That's the mark of a movie that is so bad it's good. It's just over the top, ridiculous and stupid and hysterical. But I think they made most of this movie towards that first ending, and it's just kind of boring. And that being said, I think the first ending is actually better. Spearing the shark makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But overall, I'd just give this one star. 1 star for good old Jaws: The Revenge. I've had a few laughs watching it again, but it's not one, like Jason said, like you said, that I'm going to revisit every few years because I got to watch the whole series. I think I might be done with it at this point.
I will watch 1, 2, and 3 again. And it will take a while before I get back to this one.
All right, Jody.
Yeah, I'm. There were enough baffling things that made me laugh that you know there was some entertainment value to be had, especially in the last bit of the movie. So I 1 is for me, movies just despicable. So there was at least enough to be entertaining. So I'm gonna give this one a 2. I feel like there's something there.
Yeah.
In the right mood, in the right mindset, you know.
We're together on that.
Yeah. To me, a 1 would be like offensive. Like, to me, is like a Nothing But Trouble level movie. Like actively hurts to watch. So I'm just going a hair higher than that for 1.5.
Okay.
All right. Now let's take a quick break to do a shout out.
Hey there, it's Greg Nicotero, and you are listening to Dance from the Crypt.
It's a little shout out for you A&B fans.
Nice. The old boss.
And and then joining us is Mr. Mondo. I'm just gonna make this a little bigger so we can all get
hello, everybody. It's been a couple weeks.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good.
Hey.
You guys had me almost, Mike. You almost had me into wanting to watch this movie, and then the way everybody else talked about it, I was like, "Oh no, I've never seen this, and I don't plan to now."
Come on, man, you got to give it a shot.
You got to
just for
finish
Michael
the
Caine.
series.
I might. I like trash. So
Have you ever seen a roaring shark before?
That's what's kind of sold me.
Yeah, I figured it would.
And like I said, that was taken from a Tom and Jerry cartoon, literally.
Oh wow, amazing.
I feel like in order to really appreciate how good original Jaws is, you have to at least watch this once.
If you can't handle me at my Jaws: The Revenge, you don't deserve it.
You don't deserve Jaws if you can't do
Right.
Jaws Revenge at least once.
Is this what you show like on a first date to test the other person? Like see how
Oh
committed
my
they are to
gosh.
Jaws?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a treat for you. Have a seat.
How do
Are
you
you a
feel
fan
about
of Mario
Agent
Van
Stars?
Peebles?
Yeah.
You stay through this, you'll stay through anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
How do you feel about conchs?
A conch scientist, you say?
Oh.
Have you seen Jaws: The Revenge? Have I?
I don't know if you guys remember this. I think this is the one that Jaws, the NES game, was based off of.
Yes, I
Oh,
was going to bring
nice.
that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I remember
Yeah.
playing the game.
it was not a good game.
No, it's bad.
Yeah.
That was a rental.
Well, I think,
All right.
what you said, Jason, about to appreciate Jaws, you've got to look at the sequels. I have to think, that first Jaws is driven so much by the character development in that.
Yeah.
It is a monster movie, of course, but it's really the guys, those three guys that drive it. And you want to see the scenes between those guys, whether it's
Yeah.
Roy
Mhm.
Scheider getting drunk in his house or his wife, you want to get drunk and fool around, or the scenes that he has with Dreyfus, on the boat and stuff. That's what's driving that movie. And maybe Jaws: The Revenge was striving to go for more of those human moments to drive the story forward. And that's why, Jody, we get so many boring scenes of her and Michael Caine courting, because they were trying to not just make it be about when's the shark going to kill
Sure.
the next person,
Mhm.
but ultimately just falls so flat.
Well, that's the
those
thing. If you're
those
going to
scenes-
do if you're going to do that, if you want to try to focus on your human characters, make them human.
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Not psychic.
Yeah, exactly. If that's your,
I mean,
if that's your character
scenes with
development.
the
Psychic
three
grieving
men are
grandmother.
the best scene. Oh. We keep stepping. Those scene with the three guys in the original Jaws are the best parts of that movie.
Of course,
like,
they're
the shark is
fantastic.
cool, but
Yeah.
them hanging out is the best.
Well,
I don't get anything from these characters hanging out. They're just there.
And to me, that's the difference, right? When you go from Jaws to Jaws 2, is that Jaws is driven by those characters, those interactions. Those are the best scenes. Then you get into Jaws 2, and Jaws 2, in my mind, just becomes like a monster movie.
Sure.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, when will the shark kill the next person? When, it's like a slasher movie, right?
Yeah.
It's just you're waiting for the next kill rather than the next interaction between the characters. to
And
push
that
the story
helicopter
forward.
scene is fucking baller.
Yeah.
Oh, bonkers.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
All right. Well, Mondo's here to do song of the day.
Well,
Ooh.
just because something happened today.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Prince of Darkness has passed away, sadly.
yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne at 76, just coming off the final ever Black Sabbath show and the final ever solo show of his, which hopefully you guys all got a chance to see it. It was pretty emotional seeing Ozzy up there. They had to strap him into a chair because he has Parkinson's, but he sang his heart out that night. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they kind of had a backing track for him, but he was still singing over it and doing a fantastic job. And if you go on YouTube, you can find the isolated vocals they did of his from Mama, I'm Coming Home. And his voice is almost cracking in an emotional way. Like he knew something was up. So Black Sabbath was my first real love in music. I discovered Metallica first, and I was like 8 years old. But then I heard the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. And I said, oh shit, I want to play guitar. I need to sound like that. And
Nice.
Ozzy obviously was a big driving force of that. And he kind of ascended to above metal, above music. He's pop culture icon. Everybody knows Ozzy, and all the stories you've heard about him. And growing up, you'd always hear from like your older uncles or your older relatives, like they would tell you a story that their friends saw at a concert that wasn't true, of some crazy shit that Ozzy did on stage.
Sure.
And it became a thing of lore. It's kind of, he'll be very missed, but 76 years old is a long life considering everything that man went through and the way that man lived. That man, fucking epitome of rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
Him and Lemmy, epitome of rock and roll. So, Jason, I know you had a song you wanted to pick too, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan as well. I really kick myself for not being able to see him play live. It just never aligned that way. And I remember just on a whim, I just wanted to pick up, a Ozzy album, not just a Black Sabbath album. So I was at my, record store seeing what they had used, and they had Osmosis. I think it was 1996.
95.
His,
He came out end of 95.
Yeah, end of 95. So it's right around that time. And the song that really floored me was See You on the Other Side. Like, it's ballady, but it's also got like big riffs. It's just like heartbreaking lyrics. That's a song I can just listen to over and over and over again.
That's a criminally underrated record in his my two favorite Ozzy records are Diary of a Madman and Osmosis. Old LA Tonight, I Still Stand by being an incredible power ballad that gives you the feels if you listen to it. I was just listening to that record. What's funny, last week when I was on my flight to Germany, and that still holds up. But for me, I'm gonna pick one of my favorite Sabbath songs of all time. I want to go on a deep cut because people forget those last records they did with Ozzy, Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy. Because kind of towards the end of the 70s, when you had other metal starting to creep in, and Black Sabbath was kind of going a little softer at that time. They're going more progressive, I would say. And people obviously undermine those records. So everyone should listen to the whole catalog. I'll also say Volume 4 is their best album. And
I
that's
agree.
not debatable. Thank you.
I
Yes.
agree. 100%. Yeah.
Yes, not debatable. But the song that really hooked me, aside from the song Black Sabbath, because I've done that one before, was A Hand of Doom.
Yeah.
Off of Paranoid. Just a phenomenal cut. And I love those early Sabbath records, how the songs were almost had almost schizophrenic in a way that they would start off as like a metal song, then go into like the blues, and then come back into a metal song, like almost had like a 3 acts, almost like a movie. And it's very, very interesting. So I just want to go with that song. It's one of my favorites of all time. I think Slayer covered it at one point and did a pretty cool job with that. So rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
and
very sad. When I saw that news pop up today, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I was just I was in the middle of a meeting and I went, oh my God. And somebody's like, what's wrong? And I was like, Ozzy just died. And they all kind of looked at me like, huh? What are you talking about? And I was like, no, really, Ozzy just died. And then 5 minutes later, a guy comes in knocking on the door. He's like, did you guys hear that Ozzy just died?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah. And I've been kind of processing it all day. And it's upsetting because he set the tone for like my youth as far as like Blizzard of Oz is one of the first cassette tapes I ever bought. Oh, wow. And then I got into, all the Black Sabbath catalog, and Black Sabbath is one of my favorite bands. And I was lucky enough to see them on the End tour. And I also saw Ozzy on the Ultimate Sin tour. And I got to meet him on Halloween at the Sharon Osbourne show because I worked for K&B, and Sharon Osbourne had requested we come down with some props, and it's Halloween, and show some stuff off, and blah, blah, blah. And we brought a mechanical heart that you could work with a remote control, and we gave Ozzy the remote, and he's like, this is bloody great. This is fucking amazing. He's just playing with this mechanical heart, making it beat. And like, he's such a gracious and wonderful and cool guy that, when you meet your heroes, you want them to be that. And he was. So yeah, I was bummed.
Awesome.
I'm still bummed.
We should all be so lucky to have the sort of send off that, to sit on a throne adored by all of those fans, singing his heart out and just feeling that love come back from them. Like, my goodness, there could be no better tribute to an artist of his caliber, and considering what he did for music and metal in specific. Like, what a final, like, fitting capstone to his career in life.
Yeah.
And like he was a cultural icon too. Like, especially like I remember in college, that was like appointment. That was like one of the only shows that we actually gathered around to watch every like Sunday night or whatever. So was to watch the Osbournes.
I mean, all the movies he's been in, like Little Nicky.
Little Nicky,
where he bites ahead of the bat. I mean, I think he was on The Simpsons.
Yeah,
it's bittersweet. I saw Ozzy in '96 with Sepultura and Deftones, my second concert, and I saw Sabbath in 2000. They played like on January 2nd here in Vegas, and then I saw the End tour. And the End tour, I'm not gonna lie, I was apprehensive about going because I'm like, how's Ozzy gonna sound? And they had to down tune a couple songs for him, but he sounded awesome.
He did.
He sang his heart out, and that's all that matters. And still core memories for me. So, like I said, Black Sabbath is the reason why I fell really, really, truly in love with metal and picked up a guitar. And to this day, they're my favorite band of all time, and will be to the day I die. So,
yeah.
Oh,
what do you guys
you know
do?
what?
My
Other,
vote for song is Super Not, by the way.
Oh, I love Supernaut.
Yeah.
I love it. It changes a lot. It changes a lot for me depending on my mood. But
Sure.
Hand of Doom's always been there. But the song Black Sabbath, like just that riff, like there will never be a more evil riff in music. Like all the death metal bands and black metal bands I love will never create a riff that evil. I think they'd all agree with me as well.
Yeah, I do.
okay, I'm looking at Ozzy's IMDb because of course I am, and he's also in Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay, yeah.
It was like for like a cutaway gag.
I worked on Little Nicky, but I wasn't there on set
for
any of that, so I didn't get to meet him then, but obviously got to meet him a couple years later.
That's a guilty pleasure movie of mine. I like it.
They also did a voice in Sherlock Gnomes. So there you go. Him and Michael Caine.
It's all coming together.
He's done video game voices, like all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if I can do one more song, it's kind of off topic a little bit, but the past week I was in Germany for work, and while I was out there, my other dog passed away.
Sorry, brother.
Very, very peacefully at home. Yeah. She's been battling cancer, had a big tumor, and her health was degrading. And it was just time. And I told my wife before I left, I was like, anything you have to do, you have my blessing, obviously, because I don't want them to keep her alive just so I can come home and see her. Like I gave her a really heartfelt goodbye when I left in case anything would happen. Doesn't make it easier, but she was 17 and a half. So she had a little old lady, had a nice long life. And most of my animals at this point have been named after metal bands. Like my childhood pit bull was named Ozzy after Ozzy Osbourne. I had a Shiba Inu named Lemmy after Lemmy Kilmister. And I was joking with my daughter today, and I was like, you see, even Abby waited till after the last Black Sabbath show to go because she's like, I can't go before I see Ozzy one more time. And she's named actually after an album or song too by the artist King Diamond, who I've brought up many times before, my favorite artist. So
I was going to ask that actually.
Yeah, 100% named after Abigail from King Diamond, who I adore King Diamond. So rest in peace, my young mutt. She was a sweetheart. And animal deaths, man, they suck. They suck, but she's not hurting anymore. She's not in pain, and she went away peacefully at home. We had someone come to the house and do the services, and
that's the best way to do it, man. That's really the best way.
Yeah, I wish I'd have been here, but my wife's like, she was so peaceful, and she loved beer, so they gave her a beer before other time. Gave her some coffee with cream and sugar because that was her shit too. She had a banana, which is like her favorite food, so she ate like a queen because she was a little pig and loved food, and and just want to wish her the best. And yeah, cool. I will then see you guys. My child's downstairs watching Demons right now, waiting for me to come downstairs. Yeah,
go do that.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like Demons.
One of my favorites. And I asked them. I said, "Do you want to watch something good or something cheesy?" And they're like, "Something good." I'm like, "Fuck it, Demons is both."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I love the Fast as a Shark music video in the middle of it. It's fucking
yes. Amazing soundtrack too for a movie. It's just I love that film so much. So I'm gonna go back there. Mike and Jason, thanks for doing the show. And James, I'm sorry, I said Jason because Jason's
I have many names today.
So many
it's really Craig.
Jason is
Craig, Jason.
And I will see you guys next week, hopefully. Whatever movie we're doing, I forgot. I'm sure you'll tell me.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Bye, Mondo.
Thank you guys.
Nice to see you, man.
Take care.
Likewise. Thank you. I can't figure out how to exit. Sorry. Awkward 10 seconds. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Jody, give us some horror news.
All right. Let's talk releases first. Dangerous Animals, like I mentioned earlier, released today on VOD. And I'll probably watch it when I'm done here because I love Sean Byrne and can't wait to watch that. I'm excited.
Looks good, that one, actually.
Yeah, I've heard good things so far.
Yeah. I was thinking it might pair well with Dead Calm. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We did a Sam Neill month like a year ago.
Oh, excellent.
And we did Prince of Darkness?
In the Mouth of Madness. We did in the Mouth of Madness.
Mouth of Madness, sorry.
Yeah.
Event
That's
Horizon.
My favorite underrated Carpenter there.
That's Mondo's favorite movie. And we did Event Horizon and we did Dead Calm.
Nice. That's good.
Dead Calm still hold up? I remember it being awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
Way back in the
Mhm.
day. Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's got a little funkiness for it's from its time, but Billy Zane is awesome. So
He is.
Another release in theaters is a movie called Cloud. And the main thing you need to know about this one is directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who did Pulse back in the 90s, one of the better J-horror movies that came out around that time.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Also got you know what I did last? I know what you I know what you did last summer. You know what I did last summer is a different movie. Very
you went to see it.
but yeah, it's in theaters right now, and this definitely does not qualify as horror. But Eddington also just released. It's Ari Aster's newest one.
I mean, it's about a horror.
Yeah, it's about COVID. So yeah, fun stuff. Ari Aster, I'm sure, is going to have a kind of uplifting take on the whole thing.
I'm sure.
That's what he's known for.
Everyone comes out okay with their head on tight.
Yeah.
At my current shop, Autonomous Effects, we did reshoots for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Was it actually not that long ago that we did them?
All right. We also got a lot of trailers in the last week that I'm very excited for. We get a new trailer for Predator Badlands that gives a lot more of you get to see more of the android and him hunting. It looks awesome. Comes out November 7th.
I was such a fan of Prey. I thought Prey was so great.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the animated anthology they did, The Killer of Killers? Highly recommend.
No, it's on
Really
my
cool.
queue though. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also got a very cool Red Band trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. Releasing on October 24th. You get there's two separate sets of trailers. One is a fake Johnny Cage trailer, and then the actual Mortal Kombat trailer looks great. I really enjoyed the first one. Excited for more of it. We got a trailer.
Hold on. We're talking Mortal Kombat. I have
Go
to
for it.
geek
Yeah,
out.
lot more.
Again, that was like my middle school was made up of playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get over here.
Yeah.
That's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Who was your go-to?
Cage,
Who was your go-to player, Jason? Who did you play as in Mortal Kombat? Did you
in the first one, it was Sub-Zero, but in the second one, it was Baraka. So seeing Baraka, like a good version of him, made me really, really happy.
Yeah. Nice.
So that Johnny Cage thing they put out was amazing. I thought
it's really fun.
So good, so campy. I want to see a whole Johnny Cage, just like of one of his actual movies. I want that expanded. I want to see Cool Hank Cage, because that would be so cool. And this other, but the movie proper looks really good.
Yeah,
like I like it when they take things and expand upon it really smart. Like the fact that Scorpion's using his hook to as a grappling hook to climb around and stuff. I'm really pumped for that.
I'm really into this one. We also got a trailer for Stranger Things season 5. Doesn't really reveal a whole lot, but it is coming out this year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's are when they're dropping episodes. So ignore your family. Go watch Stranger Things.
It's so funny to think of people on Christmas morning, huddling around the TV to watch Stranger Things. Yeah. I think it's brilliant. It's just it's not your traditional Christmas fare, Jaws 4.
What's happening?
It's no Jaws Revenge.
Jaws the Revenge, which is a Thanksgiving treat.
Right. We also got a trailer for the Witchboard remake.
Whoa, they remade Witchboard?
They're directed by Chuck Russell. I have to emphasize this. So, director of Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And he's coming back and directing a remake of Witchboard, and it actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited for it.
When's the release?
Directed my favorite remake, The Blob. So
that is a good one. Yeah. That's a really good one.
The Blob so much.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait long for it. August 15th in theaters.
Oh, excellent.
Witchboard.
Oh, dude, we gotta review that with something.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Two more that I want to mention. We got trailers for 2 movies coming to Fright Fest this year. One's called The Rose, and it's kind of a home invasion in a cornfield. Like it doesn't give you a lot of explanation of what's going on, but it does have men in like the Baghead mask, like Town That Dreaded Sundown or Friday the 13th 2 or something like that. Yeah. Which I think is a scary mask. I do like that mask because it actually feels like something a crazy person would actually wear. So yeah, it looks interesting. The other one that's coming to Fright Fest is a movie called Pig Hill, which is based on a urban legend in Pennsylvania. The main thing I'm excited about there is the director of Willy's Wonderland, which I recently rewatched with my daughter. And yeah, I like Willy's Wonderland. It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, that one looks like, but that looks like a much more serious take on compared to Willy's Wonderland.
It doesn't have the silliness of
yeah. So I'm very curious to see what he does with that.
Something about an urban legend about pig people. So yeah,
the pig people of Pennsylvania,
something like that. Yeah,
the PPP
alliteration.
On physical media, we have It Follows and High Tension getting a 4K release from Lionsgate Limited on August 21st. I love It Follows. It's
so good.
Such a good movie. I'll definitely be picking that one up. High Tension, I remember liking. I know Mondo has major issues with it, but I remember liking it quite a bit.
Yeah, I like that one.
I've been lucky enough to work with Alex Aja a lot.
Oh, cool.
On a number of films. And yeah,
I like his stuff.
Me too. But I told him that I said, I don't understand why High Tension has a Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and what did he say?
He's not impressed with my idea. It's like, it doesn't matter to you.
And I did want to mention a few upcoming things that were announced this week, or some information has come out about this week. In A Violent Nature 2 is going to be starting production in September, and I cannot wait for that. Love In A Violent Nature.
Yep.
We also got the news that there is a new Purge film in the works from James DeMonico, who wrote all the other ones. So it's the same guy who knows this series. I like the Purge series. Really, I don't think there's a bad one in there. Filming is underway for the new Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Burn. So production has started. And then the last one is one I'm very excited about. Christine Milioti, who was in the USS Callister episode of Black Mirror that we talked about recently.
She's great.
Oh, she's great.
She's a fantastic actress, I think. Yeah.
Well, she is starring in a horror movie from Casper Kelly, the man who made Too Many Cooks, who made the Adult Swim Yule Log, and who made the Cheddar Goblin commercial from Mandy.
Hell yeah.
The movie is called Buddy. That's all that has been revealed about it so far, but I am 100% in.
It's about a little goblin creature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. They haven't revealed much to us yet, so.
Is it based on the 80s kids toy My Buddy?
Nope, just Buddy, not My Buddy.
With Kid Sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Kristen Milioti and the Too Many Cooks guy. Yeah, of course. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Kristen Milioti, isn't she also in that Penguin series?
Yeah. She's really good.
She's like one of the best things in it, too.
Yeah. And she's also,
fantastic.
I think she's the lead in a movie called Palm Springs. It's called Palm Springs. It's like a Groundhog Day type.
With Andy Samberg.
Yep. That's a pretty cool movie, too, actually. Yeah. Like indie film.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. And that USS Callister episode is, I mean, I love Black Mirror, but that's a particularly good episode.
Really good stuff.
Pretty great.
Joey, there's one more thing, and this once I saw this, I was like falling on my chair. They're doing a Hellraiser video game.
Oh yeah,
they released a trailer today, and it is like almost X-rated in the level of nudity and gore.
Oh boy,
sounds like Hellraiser.
Yeah, like this is like Hellraiser how I've always wanted to see it, like just like going like pushing past R rating.
Yeah,
like you literally see someone like getting torn in half, like from behind, and like see like all the stuff like stringing apart. And they showed a little bit of footage of the actual gameplay, and like you're walking around with a cube like in some hellish landscape. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
I'm gonna look that up. Honey, what are you
I will
doing?
check that out.
Nothing.
I think it's called Hellraiser Revival or Revived, something along those lines.
Yeah, I need another good scary video game. It's been a little while since I've had a good scary one. That game Ill, I think, looks pretty interesting too. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that one. I think it's called Ill. It's a first-person shooter. Very disturbing, sort of deformed zombie type creatures, which makes it sound like every generic horror game out there. But actually, graphically and design wise, check out that trailer if you haven't. I think that game looks pretty intense. I'm pretty good.
Added to my
All
list.
right. Thank you, Jody. All right. Before we wrap up, we have our traditional ending question, especially when we have guests. Dads from the Crypt. We do our patented, copyrighted dad advice
Trademark.
section.
Trademark.
So, James, Craig, I know you mentioned being a father. Mike, you're of a very long, successful career in effects. What advice would you like to give our audience on how to be, successful, upstanding dudes?
Jeez, that's a good
Holy
question.
cow!
It's
Didn't
pretty.
know you were going to hit me with life advice.
Don't
Don't do
be silly.
drugs.
Like, this is the correct report when you're making appendage. This is the correct proportion of plaster to XYZ.
Yeah, I think the one thing I can say is, and it just sounds very standard. Don't give up on your dreams. It's drive. It's the drive that people see in you that makes you stand out from the others. So there's a lot of people out there that have sort of an entitled feeling, and you can easily tell the difference between those people and the people that are so dedicated they'll do whatever it takes to get there. And so don't give up on your dreams and just keep that drive going. There's a lot of especially if you wanted to be in makeup effects, like ever since I was a teenager, I was making horror movies with my friends, on camcorders, and I got Tom Savini's book Grand Illusions, and I started learning my own shit, and doing that and just building your own process and getting there in your own way, but keeping that drive and keeping that hunger and desire going is what it takes to get through life. So that's my life advice, because everything I've ever wanted to do, I'm being like, I'm going to write a novel. And I would sit down, and for fucking years, I spent hours a day until I finally wrote a novel, and I got published back in 2014.
Cool. Congratulations.
And, yeah, it's a werewolf novel with about the original werewolves, Romulus and Remus, the twins at the birth of Rome, being the first werewolves. And so like, if you have a desire, just fucking do it. Don't listen to anybody telling you that you can't do it, or that you'll never get anywhere in Hollywood, or you'll never get, you'll never sell a script, or, I sold a script to fucking Creep Show. One of the very first.
Which one?
It's season 4, and it's shit. Now
The grieving process.
The grieving process. Yeah, season 4, episode 2. I think it's the second part of that episode. The grieving process. Yeah, that was based off a short story that I wrote that Nicotero bought for me, and they had me write the first script. And then after that, they did some rewrites themselves and made a few more changes. The script is actually the first script I gave them is different from what my story was, but it was all based on what they wanted per the show.
Sure.
Right.
So, yeah, just if you have a dream or a desire, don't ever fucking stop. Just keep going, no matter what people tell you.
That's solid dad advice.
Yeah.
All right. CJ.
I think I would say probably sometimes the dream isn't for you, and corporate life needs people as well.
Hey, it pays my bills. So.
No, I would follow up Mike's advice and just say, that don't allow your dream to be a static thing. Don't allow your dream to be just I will only be happy if I am this successful, or if I reach this level, or if this happens. If you are following what you love to do and staying on the path of that dream, you will find it doesn't end up the way that you thought it would, but you can still find great happiness as long as you're staying true to yourself and following that and pursuing that angle. It's when you set a limitation on it, like, well, I'm only going to be happy if X, Y, or Z happens, or if I get this level of success. If I'm only going to be happy once I have that Oscar in my hand, or if I'm recognized by my peers in this certain way. If you're just staying true to yourself and following that dream, you find it changes, but there's great happiness to be found on that path. And that's really what it's all about. It's the path, it's the drive that takes you there rather than the final destination, in the words of our friend Craig Perry.
That's right.
Love it. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you and your podcast and any other projects you want to talk about?
Tell them, James.
So we are the Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing. You can find us on Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. And we're also on Patreon. We're the Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing. Or are we just the Whole Damn Thing on Patreon, Mike?
The Whole Damn Thing at patreon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instagram is the Whole Damn Thing 13. And
TikTok, Facebook.
Yep.
We're on all of those things. But
we're on all of them.
We take
It's
a
fun
classic horror movie and a new horror movie, pair them together, talk about what they've got in common and where their differences lie, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
We
crack
do
a lot of jokes and have a very, very good time.
And our mom is a huge fan. And you can even chat with our mom on our Patreon and Discord, because if you join the Patreon, you get into our private Discord. And we've got a good community of people in there that are chatting and making jokes. And mom likes to go in there and stir it up every now and again. It's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Dad's from the Crypt. You're a family show. So it's a whole family affair with us. Brothers, mothers.
Yep.
And everybody's joining in.
That's how we roll.
And then do you have any individual projects you want to plug real quick?
I've got a couple of short films that are making festival circuits right now. There's one called Stronghold I was in. There's another one called Freakin' Weekend that actually premiered when Mike came out. I actually live in Crystal Lake, Illinois, and they had a big Friday the 13th event, June 13th. Mike came out and we kind of emceed that event for him, and they premiered the short film that I was in, Freakin' Weekend, which is kind of a horror spoof, and that's being entered into the festival circuit right now. And then I have another thing that is potentially happening, but I haven't signed a contract yet, so therefore I don't talk about it until that ink is on that paper.
Very smart. Very smart. Yeah. As far as me, I just 40-hour a week day job making monsters or bodies or whatnot for various TV shows and movies, and running a makeup effects studio, which is a lot of fun.
It's the dream. It's the dream.
It's the dream, Mom. I finally made it. Now, she was most proud when I puppeteered the penis for Pam and Tommy, episode 2. Where he gets into a conversation with it. Yeah. I love that. Me and another guy, Dave Snyder, was sitting on the floor behind him, moving some puppeteer sticks to talk. Yeah,
we're all big fans of Sebastian Stan.
He's such a great guy too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've talked to a couple that work with him, but did he keep the penis?
No, we kept it. But we had a lot of fun talking to him with it.
So I got
Mike, I need to come to your studio and have a conversation with Tommy's penis, please.
Yeah. I got to tell the Dads from the Crypt this story, though, because we were, like I mentioned before, my family came out and visited Mike, and he gave us a tour of Autonomous. And my daughter, who was 11 years old at the time, was there. And she sees like all these different, effects and appliances and all this. But at one point, she turned around and it was just a wall of penises, penises of every shape and size. Because amongst other things, Autonomous has garnered a little bit of a reputation for
Yeah,
They're making a
being the
good
dick-
wang.
Yeah, being the dick guys. Yeah.
It's
Pam and
incredible.
Tommy, Euphoria, Minx. There was
That Tom Segura show, right?
the Tom Segura show. Yeah, the bad thoughts. We did all the dick stuff in that. Yeah, so proud.
Doing dick stuff. That
You
could
should
have been
come
the
by
name
the
of your
shop,
podcast
Jason.
too.
What?
Yeah,
Dick?
totally. I'm down.
Anytime. Give me a shout.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. We appreciate everyone for listening. We'd really appreciate it if you would give us a rating, a review on iTunes, a rating on Spotify, a like and subscribe on YouTube, a follow us at Dads from the Crypt Talk on TikTok. And with that, we thank you for listening to Dads from the Crypt.
Follow Dads from the Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.